Hey y'all, it's your girl Shanice. Where you see me, I be me, and we enjoy each other's company. So I'm back with another video. Before we get into the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel so we can continue to enjoy each other's company. So in my most recent video, my last video, I mentioned that I've been missing for a while and that I'm back to post. So I'm pretty much here to give you a life update of what's been going on while I've been missing for a minute. So before we get further into the video, if you have not already watched my video where I'm talking about going back into the workforce after being, a full-time entrepreneur, I will insert it here. So make sure you stop right here, go watch that video, and then come back. All right. So long story short, before we really dive in, I left my last role because I wanted to put a lot more focus into my business. However, my business sales and everything didn't take off like I wanted it to. And when you have bills, your bills don't stop. So I needed consistent income again. So I basically took that leap of faith and attempted to, focus on my business and things like that. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for me at this moment. I know it's coming soon, but at that moment, it didn't work out for me as planned. So I'm back in the workforce. So far, working for a great company. People are great, endless opportunity, benefits are great, all of that. And my last role, I work from home, and I know you like, why you leave working from home? Like, that's the luxury. Honestly, like, if you're one that suffers like anxiety or sometimes you may struggle getting out of the bed or whatever the case may be, I thought it is good to, go back into the office, become a little more social. And so far I can see a change. I made some new friends at work. And working from home, sometimes you feel like you're stuck and you get in a funk sometimes. But other than that, I did take some notes because I don't want to go on rambling. But before we get into that, I just want to recognize that I noticed like a lot of people that are content creators, influencers, whatever the case may be, people in general are going through a spiritual warfare. Like, they're battling what their purpose is in life. And I don't know, for me personally, with the age of 30, that's been happening to me as well. It's like, okay, Shanice, what's your purpose? What is it that you want to do? And I know for a fact I want to help people grow and, overcome obstacles within daily life skills. And I love helping others in whatever way that is. And I oftentimes find myself being that go-to person when someone is needing advice or things of that nature. Again, that can take a toll on the person that's normally giving advice or being that listening ear, because you're always seen as that strong person. And I'm gonna just be honest, I have anxiety. A few years ago, I was diagnosed with depression, and having anxiety and being depressed is not just something that you can cure and it goes away. It's up and downs. There's waves to it. And so I just wanted to point that out, that I've noticed people are battling with what their purpose is. And I just want to say, you're not alone. I'm going through it as well. It's a process. And I don't know if that comes with the new age or being 30 or whatever the case may be. But I can say, if you haven't reached your 30 mark yet, it is a different experience. And you just have to sit with it and kind of do a self-evaluation. But as far as me going back into the office, I would say it has been a struggle as far as challenging, because I had to get back in that routine of waking up early, adhering to a certain dress code, punching that clock and, not being late. Luckily, my place of business does not have a point system, but I'm usually good with attendance. And so besides that, I went back into workforce because I eventually want to do what it is that I want to do, not being able to have to answer to anyone else. And during that journey, sometimes you have to go back into the workforce so you can have that consistent income to stack your money to do what it is that you want to do, whether you have a business or you just don't want to work for anyone else. And I say to myself every day, like, I know things are going to get better. It's easier said than done. And also, if there's something that you're experiencing now as well, jot down in the comments, like, what are some ways that you cope with your, if you do have anxiety, what are some ways that you cope with certain situations, high pressure situations, if you have anxiety or things like that. And one of my things is I love music. Lately, I've been listening to a lot of gospel music. But yeah, so I love music. I really can't go a day without listening to music. It's therapeutic to me. So that's one of the things that I use to cope with like my anxiety, is to listen to music, preferably gospel music. Lately, I've been listening to a lot of that. I've noticed after coming home from work, I'm a lot more exhausted. I'm drained because, again, my body hasn't been used to getting up at a certain time, actually having a dress code and going into the office, because before I was just working from home. And also another thing too, like, if you're wanting better for your life, you have to surround yourself with positive people. Sometimes it's easier said than done, because you can just be being yourself, and then is someone that comes along that's always complaining. You want to remove yourself from situations and people like that, because that energy, it messes up your spirit and it can throw things off. So be mindful of other people's energy. If you noticing someone is always around you complaining, remove yourself from that. Block out that negative energies, so that you can attract positive energy. Everyone is not going to go with you on this journey. You're going to lose friends. You're even going to become distant with certain family members as well. So yeah, it's tough. It's a process, and I know eventually I'm going to see the light at the end of that tunnel, and I can't wait. I oftentimes tell myself more often to just stay positive, see the good in things. Even if, God may have not answered your prayers right at that moment, just know He's listening. And also learning along this journey, when it comes to going back in the workforce or just starting something different that's out of your comfort zone, you have to learn to adapt to change. That's the only way that you can grow. And I'm realizing that you have to be adaptable to change. That's with anything in life. And last Sunday, when I went to church, pretty much the message that came across, it made sense to me, because basically the word was, any and everything that you do, it takes faith. So, for example, you get in a car behind that wheel, you have faith that you're going to make it safely to your destination. You go to sleep with faith, thinking you're going to wake up the next day. Just examples like that. So anything that you do, any new situation that you get into, you go with it, hopefully with the intentions of having that faith and just being positive. I've noticed that I've been going to bed a lot more early, and that could be because I'm going into the office, I'm driving, so my body is drained. So I rarely watch TV. I'm rarely on social media like I used to be. So that's the difference there with me going back inside the office to work. Everything, regardless if you're working or not, it involves customer service. So if you have your own business, it involves customer service. If you're just having an interaction with people, it's a service, because you want to treat people the way you want to be treated. You don't want to be disrespected. So, it's a higher standard that you have to hold yourself to if you're trying to envision your life on a higher level, if that makes sense. What else? And honestly, ever since turning 30, which you should do this regardless of what age, living with no regrets. So if there's something a goal that you want to do, you might have to take baby steps to achieve that. And I'm learning that too. Like, I'm doing any and everything with no regrets. That whatever it is that I want to do, I'm going to do it. I'm going to put my mind to it. I'm not going to doubt myself anymore, because I am one that puts a lot of pressure on myself. I'm hard on myself. I'm low-key a perfectionist, so if it's not right, I drill myself, and I know that could take a toll on your body as well. So I'm just living with no regrets, taking one day at a time, learning work-life balance. Not taking work home with me is very, very, very important, because it can burn you out and drain you out. You never know what people are going through personally, because a lot of times you see on social media, especially Instagram, the pretty picture, but behind that pretty picture, you don't know if they're moments away from losing their house, losing that job, getting a divorce. You just don't know what situation anyone is going through. And I do blame social media, preferably Instagram, because it's a lot of comparison. You know, people want like, oh, well, why my life isn't this way? You start comparing your life to others. And I know with me, like, most of my friends, they either had a child, married, or whatever the case may be. And it's like, you have to stop comparing your lives to others, because God put you here on earth for a purpose. And you know, you might not know what that purpose is in that moment, but eventually it will come to you. And again, like, you just never know what people are going through. I'm never judgmental, because again, you never know what people are going through. Because the reason being is because if you're always that person that judging the next person, one day just like that, you can have a humble experience. So again, you never know what people are going through. So I say never judge people. Also, imposter syndrome. And basically the Google definition of that is pretty much a condition of feeling anxious and not experiencing success internally, despite being high performing in external objective ways. So you can believe you're the best at your job or what you do, but you feel like it's not good enough. You're always anxious. It's like, what's next? Okay, excuse me, I have to keep moving. I have to keep doing something. And so that's pretty much what imposter syndrome is. And again, like I said, I've noticed a lot lately, influencers, like, they have real lives. Like, they're real humans. Like, no one is perfect. No one. Like, everyone has a flaw. Whatever it is, everyone has a flaw. Yeah, so and I feel like, as far as that spiritual warfare, I feel like it's an attack on our mental health. And I really would love to know, like, what are some ways that you cope with, you know, challenging situations, because maybe, you know, I can try it to see if it helped me. I've tried meditation. Again, like I said, I love music. I have to listen to music every single day, and just zone out. And sometimes, even going back into the workforce, I do notice that, you know, you might have, you know, met some people that you vibe with at work, but it is good to get away, get out of the building on your breaks, your lunches. You don't have to eat lunch with that person every day, or whatever the case may be, because I feel like literally I'm stuck at work all day 24/7, and I don't have me time. So use that time, especially on your breaks and lunches, to get out of the building. Step away from your desk. So that way you're not taking work. You don't feel like you're really taking work home with you. And in my last role, I felt like that's what I was doing, but I work from home. So I don't know if that really makes sense, but I felt like I was taking work with me, and I worked from home. That's how bad it was. Again, great benefits, great pay. But yeah, I had to go. But nonetheless, I'm enjoying my current role with my new company. Back to my little list here, so I can stay on track. But I feel like every day you have a new chance at life. That's what keeps me motivated. My family, my friends, and just being able to wake up the next day. Tomorrow is never promised. And I feel like if you are one to be able to wake up the next day and you have a second chance at life, give yourself grace and live your life to your fullest potential. Like, Don't doubt yourself or none of that. Like, if it's something that you want to achieve, set small goals and work your way up. That's what I'm currently in the process of doing. Again, treat others the way you want to be treated. Put yourself in their shoes. You never know. But again, when you put yourself in their shoes, or you're the one lending out advice, don't let it weigh you down. And that's so important. And I'm speaking to myself too. Don't let it weigh you down. It's okay for people, you know, to come to you for guidance, because obviously you're doing something right. But again, don't let it weigh you down. It's okay to take a moment to yourself, love on yourself, you know, affirm daily, like speak positivity, pour into your own life, into your own self. Because if you're someone that's giving advice or guidance to someone else, you're pouring into them. Why not pour into yourself? Again, no one's perfect. Everyone has flaws. Lately, like I said, I love music. Lately, it's been more gospel music for me. Prayer, recording, listening to yourself talk, writing things down, journaling, even saying it out loud. Those are a few things that help me cope with this, because there's at least one person out there that can relate to your situation. And yeah, therapy as well. And if you have a support system, it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to ask help. And I had to learn that, because being the oldest sibling, I'm always looked up to, like, you know, people expected me to, you know, have everything together or be a certain way. And within the last year, you know, I needed help. I wasn't that person that I was before, because, you know, things changed personally in my life. Of course, I made the decision for that change, but I just knew it was something better for me. And you're going to have hiccups. Being an entrepreneur or a content creator is not peaches and cream. It may look like it on social media, but really it's not. And I know one day, like, my business is going to flourish and take off, but I'm working towards that. And I say this to say, this is my last and final time. And again, I'm recording it so you can hold me accountable, but this is my last job for working for anyone. So I'm open to endless opportunity within the company, but again, I'm working my way up to be able to live on my own terms, as one of my best friends say all the time. Working towards living life on your own terms, making your own schedule, you know, traveling the world, enjoying your time with family and friends. Because I feel like COVID really messed a lot of us up. I'm speaking for myself, because everything just stopped. It was like a pause. And it's like everyone, I'm assuming, felt the same way, is because it's like you have to speed up your life because COVID hit. So it's like, okay, if I don't do this, tomorrow's not promised. You know, people lost a lot of loved ones. They lost jobs. So a lot of stuff changed. You know, had babies, got married, because you feel like, okay, if I don't do this now, then when? And I used to live my life on a timeline, but now I'm living my life with intentions and on my own terms, to the point where, okay, I'm 30. It's like, okay, by 25, I need to have kids. I need to be married, you know, that everyone's timeline pretty much, but it's okay. That time will come. However, yeah, I just wanted to share, you know, how I've been feeling since going back to work. It has been challenging, you know, going into the office and then coming back feeling drained, because you have to do it all over again. But I know greater is coming. I will see the light at the end of that tunnel, and you will witness it based on starting now this video and more videos to come. Let me know what content you would like to see going forward on my channel, whether it's talks like this, whether it's hauls, clothing hauls, or food reviews. Please let me know in the comments what type of videos you would like to see on my channel. Prior to even going back into the workforce, my business was at a halt because I wasn't getting the sales as much. And I do beat myself up too, because I could have been promoting a lot more, but I got stuck in my head thinking like, okay, well, they doing the same thing, their business is booming, but again, you don't know people's backstory. You don't know what led them there, what all, you know, they went through to get there. So you can't really compare your life story, your journey to others. So I'm definitely learning that as well. It takes time. It's not overnight. There's no overnight success. Again, you have to adapt to change in order to grow. Let no one tell you otherwise. That's just what it is. You have to adapt to change in order to grow and succeed in life in whatever it is that you're doing. Because if you stay in one spot, you're going to be stuck. And you know, some people are stuck in their ways, but if you want to see better and you want better for your life, some stuff you have to do and get out your comfort zone. Honestly, I was a shy person. I didn't like talking to people. I didn't like getting in front of no camera or none of that at all whatsoever. But especially as a business owner, you have to come out of that shell. That's just what it is. And you know, I really wasn't that person that talked to anyone first or anything like that. But especially with me going back into the workforce and socializing with others, I found myself, you know, just saying a simple, hey, how you doing? Good morning. That's all you have to say. You never know what can make someone's day. You never know what they're going through at that moment, at that time. And just a simple good morning or, you know, hope you have a great day can brighten their day. You don't necessarily have to know them personally at all whatsoever. So I'm learning that too. I'm trying to make sure I hit everything that I was gonna hit. But again, if you have any content ideas, please drop it in the comments. And again, if you're someone that's going through this spiritual warfare, this tuggle with mental health, I can relate. I can relate because I struggle then, and I'm still struggling now. It's not as bad as to finding what my true purpose is. I know I want to help others grow, and you know, come up with creative ways to overcome obstacles with daily life. So yeah, so I thank you all for being on this journey with me. I thank you all for tuning in and watching my videos. I appreciate each and every one of you. You know, so I feel like all of us can relate in some way, shape, or form. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel so we can continue to enjoy each other's company. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye. I want you.